Hey guys, my name is Colin Ledbetter. This is the Built Different podcast. In studio with me, I have police officer Dylan Mitchum. You want to go introduce yourself?
I'm Dylan Mitchum. I'm a cop for the city of St. Louis. I work in District 6 where Colin worked. I've been a cop for 5 years now.
5 years.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I was shot right before my 5-year mark. I was, because I got my 5-year pin after your little 5-year pin.
Yeah, I haven't put it on yet, but...
Yeah. Have you got any other awards?
Those like major letters and stuff that. Officer of the Month. We got, me and my partner, Napoli, got Officer of the Year last year for the 6th District. So.
That's right. I think I remember that.
Yep.
Well, let's just kind of... What'd you do before policing?
Right out of high school, I joined the military.
What branch?
Navy.
Okay.
Yep. Did that from like 15 to like late 18. Got home.
What year did you graduate?
15. I joined like as soon as I was done.
So you
I was in the DEP program, delayed entry program. I don't know if you did that, but it's something you do when you're in high school.
Yeah.
Because I was I was watching TV in high school. I was a senior, and I was kind of thinking, I was like, I don't know what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
My sister was going to college, and I was like, it seems expensive. You're gonna have all this student loan debt and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I was like, but I don't just want to, I grew up in DeSoto, Missouri, and Jeffco. Right. There's not much to do there. I was like, I don't want to just, work here. I was working at McDonald's, I think, which was a fun job, but not a career to me, And I got a phone call from her Navy guy.
Oh, no.
And he sold it to me. But I at least got a job that I wanted because I know they sell undesignated seaman thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where you don't.
Oh, no.
You just work on the ship, you paint, and you're just it's bad. So I at least had a good score to where I could pick a job that I wanted to do.
What'd you do?
I was a logistics specialist. Okay. So I just ordered parts. It sounded cooler.
You were like a parts man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a computer job and stuff like that.
Yeah, you were almost like what I do now in the the car industry. Like I'm a parts guy.
Except you're not home ever. So
it's true. Where did you go in your time in the Navy?
All of the schooling is in Chicago. At least it was back then. I think it still is.
Yeah, so Great Lakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you go to boot camp there. Then your A school or your, I forget what they call it for other branches, the schooling you go to right out of...
like the Army is AIT.
AIT, okay. So your A school or whatever, you go to that right after boot camp. So I was in Chicago, graduated, my family came up. Then I think that next morning, I went to an airport and flew to Meridian, Mississippi. Yeah. Went to schooling there for a couple months. Got my orders to go to Sasebo, Japan, and so they let me take I think 20 days of leave. Came home and then went to Sasebo, Japan.
Nice. How'd you like Japan?
It was cool. It was fun. Yeah. I mean, got to see stuff. It's Japan.
Was that where you were pretty much the entirety?
No, well, yeah. I mean, that's where I was stationed at, but we got deployed to where we go, South Korea, Cambodia. There's a couple more. I don't know. I always forget though. Cambodia was my favorite though.
Yeah.
I never got to go to Thailand, but everyone that had been to Thailand said it was the closest to Thailand. But it was cool.
Been to Thailand.
Cambodia is cool. It's just crazy. You're on this little tuk-tuk thing, like a little car, but it's actually a moped,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're sitting in it.
Yeah.
And you're just driving through it this third world country, and it's just hot, it's shacks. There's no electricity other than it's out of nowhere. There's this huge resort looking hotel, and you get your room, and it's
no one knows how to drive.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how that is in the middle of nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah, when I was in Bahrain for a little bit, and it was a lot like that. It was just slums, and then all of a sudden there was a really nice place.
Yeah, it's who paid for this?
Right outside the base that we were at in Bahrain, because we were on a Navy base that had a little Army base inside of it.
Yeah.
And we went there and we did security forces with the Navy for a little bit, and I think it was 2 months or so. But on our off days, there was a resort like literally right across from the base, and it had a really nice pool and stuff.
Yeah,
and
there's
go
probably
over there,
bars
like,
everywhere.
Yeah,
they know
and you pay like $10 to go swim. It was
Yeah.
it was freaking neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely one of my more favorite types of the military.
Mm-hmm.
And then when did you get out? You got out in
late 2018. After my orders were up, I came home. I didn't come home at all during that whole time. I wanted to, but like the plane ticket, I was like, do I really want to go home for 2 weeks and spend like $1,500 on a plane ticket there and back? I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got out and came home.
Yeah.
And kind of bounced around jobs. Then my buddy who was a cop in the 5th, I don't know if you know him, everyone called him EK, Edin Kurtovic, Bosnian guy. He was on Night Watch. Mm-mm. Well, he's like one of my best friends growing up. And he talked me into doing it. He's like, do it. And he said that they had to shave, and I just did that for like a long time. I was like, I don't like shaving all the time. Other than I finally put in my application, and by the time I made it out of the academy, he was gone. He went to Maryland Heights, so I didn't even get to work with him at all.
Had they done away with the shaving profile yet? Or like the shaving issues?
No, not yet. No,
you still had to shave?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember when they did away with that.
I just look like, I look like I'm, 15 now. If I shave, I look like I'm 10.
Oh, so. I'm the same way. Yeah. I'm the same way. I hate shaving. Yes. And I like break out really bad.
Yeah, I mean,
like, no matter what.
My skin's not too sensitive. I just use like warm water, but like I know some people, they'll get like bumps, and it's horrible.
Mine's terrible.
Yeah.
Not as bad as some I've seen, but okay, so let's talk a little bit about your so you bounce around jobs, you get into the police department. Mm-hmm. You start the academy.
Yes.
What year did you start the academy?
2019. I think it was like wait. Yeah. Yeah, it was like July of 2019.
19 was a wild year for me at the department.
Well, yeah.
Just like we were like, that was like the heart of it. Like Nelson and I got that hit put out on us and stuff like that. Yeah. Like just crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. But you started the academy the summer of 19?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then it came out early 2020.
And what is it? How long is it?
It's like 6 to 7 months, I think they say. I know classes that came out like whenever COVID happened. I think they were like, it was taking longer. Oh, then they did it all on Zoom and stuff like that, which is crazy to me. Yeah.
No,
I think they turned in their, because they did all their class online, is what I was told. And then any time that they went to the range, it was a PT day. So like that's the only times that they got to PT. So imagine like going and shooting, having fun, and then like having to run like 4 miles was, that would be horrible.
That's wild.
You're having a bunch of fun, and then it's just like you're just like knowing in your head like, I'm gonna have to run for like 45 minutes after this, and it's hot outside.
Oh, yeah, that would be terrible. So you get out of the academy. What does it look like getting out of the academy?
Well, like I said, I did something funny whenever I was in the academy. I'm surprised the instructor told me this, but I told him, I was like, hey, I'm from DeSoto. Like, I don't know, I've never been. I've been to St. Louis, like downtown area. Never been to like any bad parts that I knew of. And I asked him like, what is like one of the most dangerous neighborhoods, and he told me Walnut Park.
Oh no!
I didn't know there was 2 of them. So I just like I'm in the academy. I drove I had like a 2009 Pontiac G8, which is kind of a popular car, I guess. And he told me Walnut Park. So one day, whenever we got off, I drove up to Walnut Park just to see what it looked like. And I think I was driving down. Now that I think of it, I think I was driving down Emerson, and there was like a group of guys walking down the street.
Out in the stoop, yeah.
They were like walking down the street like they had guns, and I was like, holy cow. And so I don't know what route I took. I just went the direction I came from.
Mom, I think I'm having second decisions.
Yeah. Got back on the highway and went home. And then I told him about it the next day, and he was like,
you're an idiot.
You didn't tell me you were going to drive up there. Why would you do that?
Don't do that again.
But yeah, I mean, coming out, seeing it, like just the houses, how it's everything. There's so much vacant land and houses that should be torn down, but they're still
Yeah.
up there, old, just gross.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different world,
It is.
you know.
I always like to talk about the Baden neighborhood. I think that was one of my more favorite neighborhoods growing up because one, that's kind of where my squad. So back when I started, there was, and I think this was completely gone when you came on, but there was 3 areas in a district. There was 11, 12,
13.
and 13 area, now called Relief Squad. But then they hadn't separated the districts like that. So the districts actually had 9 areas inside the district. So it was 621 all the way up to 629. I think is how it worked.
It's still like that now.
It is like that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So then I don't know why I didn't think of that. So then like my area that I usually worked in was 628. That was
so
kind of my
like
so it was a big
Baden,
neighborhood.
North Point, I think. Too.
But I learned a lot about it in the time of that when it was first being like built and stuff like that. It was a lot of like Germans and stuff that were settling in Baden.
And if select few that live up there still.
And if you go into some of these houses and stuff, like you'll see the architecture.
Yes.
Like, it's very ran down, but you'll see it, and it's kind of neat.
There's a sign, I think, whenever you're going up Broadway. I don't know what it says, but I think it's something in German.
You're talking about right as you come on, like
underneath the train
railroad
trolley
tracks.
thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know what it says, but I think it's something in German because that's, everyone, whenever you're new and, your FTO is driving you around, they'll be like, oh, yeah, this right here. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that are on the department that are, like, higher up now that grew up in Baden or Glasgow or Bellefontaine, all in that area. So they know what it, was like, and then now it's different.
It's completely different. So you come out on night watch, right?
Nope, I was days.
You did come out on days?
Yep.
Okay.
FTO was Derby.
Okay.
Great FTO. He was
good guy.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah,
I got the better end of the stick, seeing what other people had to, their FTOs, I would say. I'm not going to say any names, but I got, my FTOs in SWAT now, so I think I did,
you did good.
I think I was given a pretty good hand.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
So you did your field training, and then where'd you go after that?
District 6 A Platoon, and I did do a stint on night watch.
That's what I thought. I felt like, did you get off of field training and then go to night watch?
No, I was days. So, in the academy, whenever you do your little cheat sheet thing, you put your 3 districts you want to work in, and then if you want to be on days or nights. I think I put 5, 6, and then 3. I got 6. I put 5 because my buddy was in the 5th.
In the 5th.
And I put night watch because he was telling me, oh, nights is great, which nights is fun.
You get paid a little extra.
You get paid a little bit more money, and you have more downtime. But, you have more downtime in between, like, depending on the time of the year, you have more downtime in between, like, 3 in the morning and, like, 6. Right. Not too much goes on there. Once you get to, like, 4:30, you're catching people that are going to work. Yeah. So you don't, so I got days, and it was funny because a bunch of my classmates that put the 6, they put days, and I put nights, and they got nights, and I got days. So, but I had a good FTO and days. I enjoy days better. But yeah, I was on nights for like 3 or 4 months. They needed help. I guess they were short, and they asked for volunteers. They were gonna make someone go, and I volunteered to do it because he was newer than I. But it was cool. I mean, you get to meet and work with other guys, and so it was fun.
Yeah. And you're on A Platoon now.
Yep, still on A Platoon.
You work with Speece.
Yep, I got a good squad. We got me and Napoli. Selmir, do you know him? He came out a little bit after me. He was on night watch. Okay. He's a Bosnian guy. Jake Oglesby, you don't know him. He's from the 2nd, but he's a good guy. He was classmates with Napoli. And then Speece, and then Woodson too. So I have a great squad. Good sergeant, good lieutenant. So
coming on, you did not have a family. I mean, you had obviously your mom, dad,
Yeah, no,
sister, brothers.
I was just by myself. Yeah.
But since then, you've kind of had a unique perspective. You got married, and
We're not married
not
yet.
married yet.
No,
I forgot.
no.
But you do have a long-standing relationship with
Yes,
Sonora.
we are engaged.
And
yes.
you are engaged.
Yes,
I don't think I knew that. Congrats.
Yes, thank you.
And you have a kid now.
2 kids.
Two
kids. Yep, just keeping them coming, bro.
We got to catch up more. Yeah, you've got 2 kids now.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about that dynamic of how the job affects your home life.
I work a lot. Not right now because I got fractured my foot a couple weeks ago, or a bone in my foot, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm home more now, but I make less money. So, but yeah, I mean, I work a lot. And she doesn't like it, but she understands that we don't get paid that much.
Mm-hmm.
The economy's different. Things are expensive now. Childcare is outrageous.
Yeah.
So, and I don't. She doesn't like. I mean, I'll tell her things that happen, but like, there's been a couple of times where I tell her something, and she's like, "Oh wow, what happened?" And then I start going into detail, and she's like, "Okay, stop telling me that." Like I don't need to hear what it looked like or whatever. And I was like, "Okay, sorry." So I tell her like little things that happen at work, but not like,
you don't share
all the crazy stuff. Really, no.
No, I understand.
She doesn't. I mean, she obviously doesn't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's something I never got to experience. My wife now, Montana.
Mm-hmm.
We were dating when I was shot, but it was never. I mean, we were serious. Like
Yeah.
we went through a deployment and everything together, but we weren't married like we are now. So it was a little bit different. Like I didn't like come home and talk to her, and I didn't have kids with her. So I always like to ask that on the show, like how does that affect? Because I know it does. It affects everyone's relationship.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and you have weird hours. For 3-4 weeks or whatever, we're on mornings. Then you switch to afternoons.
Yeah.
Go from. I work overtime on night watch, so I'm gone from 3 in the afternoon to I get home at 6. So you're gone a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I like to ask this question. It hits everyone a little bit differently. Everyone has those times that they can put worst times and bad times in their job. Or worst, I said that weird. The worst time that they think they can think on the job, and then the best time. Best times.
I'm trying to think of like the worst time when I have a pretty good attitude.
Yeah.
So like I don't ever get like down. Like I would say if like I haven't really had like any super bad experience. Obviously when you happened that was bad, but like I was never like I need to leave this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like how I am. I'm different. You could say
you're a lot like me in the easygoing like
and I'm kind of a little crazy at work.
I totally get what you're saying, because like I would, the department would put something new in place, and it would totally hinder the work that we do.
And you get mad about it for a couple hours,
and then you figure out
some things you shouldn't say,
and then you figure out a way to get around it.
Yeah, or you just don't care,
just to work through it. Not to get around it, but to work through it. And,
but like my partner Napoli, he gets hung up on stuff.
Yeah, well, he's just a big baby.
I'm not talking smack on him because
we're talking smack now.
I told him, I said I'm not going to do it. He's a great partner.
He is. He's a great guy.
But like he gets hung up on small things. Yeah. And I just got to listen to him.
I feel like that's a good balance, Josh.
It's a good and I'm just like,
Josh was that for me.
Shut up, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like they put out a thing. I'm not going to get into it, but we'll talk about it after the show.
We'll let Sleepy Dog fly. Everyone knows.
So I didn't know if I needed to bring like an attorney here when I was like, do I need to bring an attorney?
I have not seen any internal affairs people on here yet, but usually they're not the ones that get mad about us bad mouthing the department anyways, but not that we would.
But never. I mean, a worst time, I can honestly, maybe right now, just because I'm floating at, that 5-year mark. Don't know if I'm wanting to stay because just how the department is. I don't want to be a district cop, my entire career.
Right.
I gave it 5 years. Whenever I came out, I saw people go places that had less time on than 5 years and that didn't do much.
But now they have transfers frozen, right?
Yeah, like
So you
I think
can't
the only
transfer
transfer
anywhere.
I've seen is ETU, and I'm not doing that. And then I'm hurt, so I'm back in the bureau. I
Yeah.
can't do anything. I should be back soon though, but like right now, it's not. I mean, I'm not having fun. You know, I'm like asking for work to do, but I can't arrest anyone. I can't. I mean, I can look at reports and say, hey, this looks unsolvable, which is what I'm doing. I mean, like this looks like, you know, a burglary occurred. ETU didn't come out. There's no cameras. You know,
Yeah.
we're not catching this person. Like
No.
we're not doing it. I mean, so things like that. Spreadsheets, those are cool. I gotta do those now.
When Officer Ledbetter was coming or was on limited duty after his shooting, he did spreadsheets and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Every second of it. I got out there as fast as I could.
Let's say you're a little worse. I told them whenever I got hurt, I got a call, which I told I didn't tell. I shouldn't say that. I asked politely, since I'm a good worker. People, I mean, I do my job, and I asked them very politely if they could not put me on the desk.
Yeah.
And that night we were going to a fundraiser, and the captain was there, which he's great as well. Karnowski, I don't know if he was in the 4th. And
Know the name.
my lieutenant Duke, who's also great, he spoke with him, and they were like, "Welcome to the bureau again." And I was like, "Thank you," because I did not want to be. I don't know if you were ever on the desk or not, but
Never
that
went to the
sounds
desk.
horrible, dude.
They tried to.
People calling up there asking about why their
Yeah.
accident report's done. You look down and it's you. You haven't wrote it, and you're trying to come up with some excuse on why
I'm your issues. Okay.
the officer hasn't done this accident from 2 months ago, or just little things. People calling up there yelling at you. I didn't want to do that.
9 times out of 10, it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I kind of skated around that. I didn't have to work the desk. I can't remember what all they had me do. I know that, well, there for a while, it was like my first day back, and I hadn't really talked to anyone. So everyone's like, is he going to be crazy? He just came back from the dead. Like, is he seeing things? That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it felt like. Like, Speece had seen me before, but he wasn't there that day. And, like some of the guys had seen me before, but then there was people that were like, is that Colin Ledbetter? Or the new guys, or the FT. That was the funniest part. I won't name names, but a few FTOs brought their new probes up to me because like a new class just came up like, here, come meet Officer Ledbetter.
This guy's a
And
hero.
They came up and be like, hey, lift up your shirt, show them your scars. And I'm like, hey.
We're not doing that.
And then there was like captains and lieutenants like walking around like, are you okay? Like, is everything?
I'm not some
like,
science experiment.
I'm fine. I hardly remember anything. I just got a bunch of scars. But no, it was weird. Like they just, like, I think for the first like 3 days I sat in the report writing room.
Well, I remember you called me a couple times. Did you have a proxy card?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess maybe you forgot it somewhere because you called me one time. I was like,
I think
let
so.
me in.
Yeah.
I'm at work. I was like, oh, I didn't know you were back. But yeah,
No, I didn't. That's what
I
it was.
don't think you had it because you called me one time and I was like, okay, you're back here.
It's in an
Why
evidence
are you-
locker in the county.
That's what I figured with your vest and everything else.
Yeah. So like for 3 days that I just sat in the report writing room, and I don't remember who it was, but someone came back and they were like, "Do you want a job?" I was like, "I would love it if you guys are gonna make me sit here for 8 hours.
Give me something to do.
Give me something."
Yeah.
So I did the spreadsheets for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I finally was like, "Hey, I hate this.
Yeah, this
Give me
is not-
something else."
yeah.
And then at that time the camera room was coming up, so they were like having me sit in the camera room, and I was like
roll call
watching
room,
yeah
cameras for people.
I don't even know if they probably don't even have anyone sit back there anymore, but
No one's like back there, but like I went back there before whenever my guys are working and we'll tell them stuff or whatever.
yeah. See, that's what I did for a little bit. I would just sit back there and follow the cameras and stuff like that. And
It's definitely boring stuff. But mine's very minor, so it won't be too long, and I'll be.
well, it just stinks being a working cop and being put in that position of having to sit there. There's a lot of guys that would eat it up. They'd be
They would play this off.
hey."
They'd be like, "Hey, I need surgery. I need.
Oh yeah,
My knee kind of hurts too."
They'd milk it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, future goals on the department. If you stayed, what would you want to do?
I think about this a lot. Mobile's fun, but I don't know about.
It's very bland.
It's bland.
That's nothing against mobile
Yeah,
reserve.
no, it's great. And I think I would have fun. Mm-hmm. But like, you have the chance of getting hurt, or wrecking a car. You wreck cars, chasing people all the time. And I don't know if that would. It would be fun, but I don't know if like that's where I would want to. I think I would want. I don't know, because like anti-crime, I don't think I'd want to do that because I know they probably deal with a lot of juveniles and which I mean it would be fun. Like I will do anything, just to get out of the district. Like I'll go. DEI would be cool. Mobile would be cool. Anti-crime, but like I don't have like a, like this is my calling. I don't have anything like that. Just anything that's proactive that's not in the district. I don't want to do the bureau because it's too slow.
Yeah.
But
well, it's too slow and it's too fast at the same time.
No, just too slow.
I feel like you get like 50 million cases and then you're just like all this paperwork.
Yeah, and you're just like, where do I start?
Yeah.
And that happens a lot because they don't. I mean, everyone's undermanned.
You did a stint in the bureau, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but like I mean, it was fun though. I worked with Rich Edwards. He's great.
Great guy.
One of the best ones back there for sure.
Yep.
He definitely would not be in the bureau if he didn't want to be.
Yeah.
He definitely could have went somewhere else. But yeah, he showed me a lot of stuff. I had a couple good cases back there, so that was cool to see. Because on the street, you go.
You make a pile and then you throw it on another desk.
Yeah, you don't see that behind the scenes, all that extra work that the search warrants you do, and just like I had a dude that did a robbery, and it was Kayla came back when I was back there, and she's like, "Hey, you know that robbery?" I was like, "Yeah, it's mine," and she's like, "Well, I was just at those apartments, and they said it was this guy," and like it was just a name. And that is like, she gave me that. Then I started finding out, and then the dude was on GPS. So then I was able to subpoena his GPS records,
Find out
and
he was there.
put him at the scene of the robbery. I was like, it was just crazy how you just see how all this works.
Yeah.
And it was just, I mean, like that was cool.
You definitely got to be an outside the box thinker.
Yes.
Like
yes, it's a different kind of policing, but I think everyone should go back there just to see, because then you get to see like.
Well, you get a little bit more respect too.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes
it helps you with being a police officer because you know what, like once I'm done with this report, it's going to go to this detective and they're going to have to try to solve it.
Yeah.
I just
so
wrote
you know
it.
what to put in there.
I did the easy part. I had to go there, get all the information, put it on paper, and then this dude's got to try to solve what I just did. And so now you know what they're looking for, questions to ask, lines to put in, police reports. So I think it's very beneficial to go back there couple months and just see how it is.
I definitely would agree. I never got the opportunity except after my shooting, but I definitely.
Probably a little different then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you only back in the bureau, or because didn't Speece do? I thought one of you guys went to like the gun crime thing.
Nate did.
Okay, I would have tried to do that. That probably would have been cool. That's probably a lot more spreadsheets, but it's like instead of burglaries and stolen cars, it's gunshot detection.
I had a few of my feelers out. I was trying to go to a couple different places, and then right around the time that I got told that I wasn't going to be able to go back, so I just kind of
was like, I'm done.
Yeah, because I was only on limited duty for about 2 months before my neurologist got my last report and said, "Hey,
yeah." Because I remember at first Nate was still out because he got shot in his leg or whatever. But you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come back," and I was like, "This is crazy! Like you died, and now you're like gonna be back at work before Speece is back, and he didn't die."
I for real thought that I was gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
But my neurologist had a hard conversation with me.
Yeah.
My dad was there, and he sets me down, and he goes, "Listen." He's like, "You're so far away from this test." He's like, "We can keep hammering it out.
Yeah.
It's up to you." I had to go home and think about, like, hey, what do I want my life to be? Like, do I want to keep fighting this battle? And so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you already did it. You've done it all. I mean, there's not much more to see, and
it's the same.
The place isn't getting any better. It's
people.
Worse. It's worse than Yeah. And like your squad back then was very fun. Me and Kayla worked with you guys all the time. It was very fun. Love doing that. We kind of have the same thing going on now, except we don't get the extra hands that me and Kayla were.
Mm-hmm.
No one from the other squads like stays and works really too much.
Yeah.
Because extra hands is always better. You can do more
Yeah.
with extra people. So.
Definitely, I'm sure it's a lot different now.
Yeah.
Who's your sergeant?
Holting. He was on night watch.
Yep. Yeah, I think he was over there whenever before I got shot. I think he was.
He's been in the 6th. I think he's been a sergeant for.
Well, I knew he was on nights for a while, but I think he had transferred to A platoon before I got shot.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah, probably right around that time. I'd say
So.
Yeah.
A little question I like to ask, kind of ending things. Would you recommend this job to a friend or a family member?
Family member. It depends on the family member. Probably not. If I had like a cousin that, I thought, it all depends on the type of person it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tell, like, if someone's like maybe they're a little bit more dramatic or seem kind of soft, you could say, I probably wouldn't recommend it to them. Friends, I've told people to join. I mean, I love this job. It's very fun. I have a positive attitude, though. There's a lot of people that, the department were undermanned and all that stuff, and they get in this disgruntled mindset, and that's all. They're just fixated on all the bad things. They don't, they don't think about all the fun things that you can do, and like Lowe's left, and now he works in Fairview Heights. He doesn't even get to have the fun that I still get to have, chasing bad dudes, cars, whatever. Very fun job, if you're up to it, if you like doing that kind of stuff. So I would definitely recommend it to someone. It just depends on the type of person they are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And now maybe I would say, don't work for the city,
Yeah.
just because everyone leaves. I don't, like,
You're definitely going to have a very vast friend group by the end of your time in the city.
Oh, yeah.
I think is the way I would word that, because I've got guys that I went to the academy with, or I met right after the academy, and like I know them now, but they're on their third different department. They're just
and that's the one thing I feel
it's like the military.
Yeah, everyone just hops around and just go wherever, just get new orders. Oh, new police department.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't like, if I left, I have to start over.
Yeah.
Like, I still have 5 years, and they might do lateral.
5 years is a lot for the department right now, though.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But, like, you have to start over. You have to, and everyone says it's the same. You don't have the same type of bond. You're not going through all this crazy stuff with the same dudes day in and day out. You don't have that kind of stuff. I mean, anywhere. Maybe Jennings, maybe if you had it's this same stuff. Parts of North County, but I don't know. Because I know if I left, I would not, I don't want to leave and then have to come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what anyone that's kind of like-minded like me that likes to do work and, they don't have as much fun. Yeah. But I also have 2 kids and a fiance. I have a family, so this running and gun and stuff is I was tried pulling a car over. He eventually stopped in an alleyway after his car became disabled. I'll say that. Gets out and runs. I run, rolled my ankle, fractured a bone in my foot, and ran, caught him finally after 3 blocks.
So you caught him after you hurt your foot?
Yes, but my adrenaline was going. My adrenaline was going.
Yeah, you didn't even know. You probably got him, and you're like, "Oh, let me hold my foot."
Yeah, no, it was
it was
hurting.
Yeah.
If this was anyone else, a younger dude, it would have been gone. This was he's 35 years old, wasn't fast, but I'm not super fast, but I was definitely running a lot slower than what I should be because my foot was hurt. But then, I don't know, just doing. Then I don't know. It just changes your. This is a very minor injury. Doesn't really affect me too much. I hope not. I don't know. The only bone I've ever broke was my collarbone, and that's fine. But I've never been seriously injured. But thinking, keep doing this, you were saying with trying to chase these bad guys, and things are gonna happen. Bad things will happen, and I don't want that to happen to me.
No.
But
yeah. You got
definitely changes your perspective on things than having a. 2 kids, and we're supposed to be getting married this year coming up, so I don't know.
A lot to think about.
A lot to think about.
Yeah.
but I also like having fun at work. So I don't know.
What are you gonna do? Well, Dylan, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Do you want to give a shout out to anyone at home?
Sure. Sonora, Eliza, Maya, if you guys are watching this, Eliza, it's Dad talking. Maya, you don't understand anything yet. I love you guys, and I do everything I do for you.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thank you.